Well, hello. It is I, Dree, also known as the Sacred Genie, and welcome to the Nudist Diary podcast. And thank you so much for joining. Let me move this mic a little closer to me, honey. Okay. Can y'all see me? Hi, YouTube. It's been a little while. Hi, everyone that is listening on Apple and Spotify. Can't leave y'all out either, but yes, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm sorry that it's been a little while. I haven't posted an episode in about a month, which is cool. Like, that gives me enough time to go through some shit, learn some shit, understand some shit that's going on in my life so that way I can process it all and then put it into a diary entry. So you are now entering the diary of a nudist, and I am so ready to talk about this subject. And it's gonna be kind of a serious subject, but we're gonna see if we can, I don't think that there's any way that you can kind of lightheartedly talk about this subject, but I'm not gonna dwell on it too much, only because it's still fresh and there's so many different things going on, people revealing their true colors and their real thoughts about sexual assault. And I just want to preference this by saying that I'm a victim of sexual assault. When I was 13, I was sexually molested, and that was definitely actually I was 12. And that was definitely a turning point in my own life. So I really hold this subject very, very close to me. I don't talk about it too much, especially my own experience, but I think that it is very, 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 very important, because especially now with the whole Sukiana situation, if you're not very familiar, it's all over the blogs and social media and shit about YK Osiris. I've never even heard of this man in my life, but things are going on, or I'm sorry, there's literally a viral moment going on, or him and her it looks like they were at some type of conference or something where they were talking to each other, maybe doing some harmless flirting. I don't know if they were seriously flirting or whatnot. Hi, Coco. You gotta sit down, though. Go sit down. I don't know if they were seriously flirting or not, but long story short, the man came up behind her, started massaging her, and just grabbed her by the face and shoved his tongue down her throat, kissing her. And of course, social media, it blew up, got to us, and everyone is talking about it. Everybody is trying to decipher what's right and what's wrong. People are bringing up her past, where she had twerked on a 10-year-old, which is fucking disgusting. But they're bringing that up as a justification as to why it's okay that this has happened. And it's just a lot going on. So everybody, and a lot of people are saying that that's not sexual assault, especially since she was flirting with him in the beginning or whatever. And I just kind of want to talk about it, not talk about who's right, who's wrong, who needs to go to jail, who should have went to jail years ago. I don't really care about any of that. I care about talking about sexual assault in its entirety. I'm probably not going to get too deep into it, because this is something that I feel like I really want to have some type of conversation with an actual sexual assault activist, as well as someone who is more so trained on the topic and mental health around it. So I just want to give y'all start off by giving y'all the actual definition of what sexual assault is. And this is actually a definition that is provided by one of those rape hotlines that you can dial into if you've ever been sexually assaulted, raped, anything of that nature. And the definition here states: sexual assault happens when someone touches another person in a sexual manner without their consent, or when someone makes another person take part in a sexual activity with them without that person's consent. It includes unwanted kissing and sexual touching. So that right there just lays it out plain as day for you, exactly what sexual assault is, and it does include what happened to Suki. And I'm not normally one to talk about pop culture or things that is going on in the news unless it is something that I do feel strongly about and I want to just have a quick discussion about. This episode will not be that long just because I am very tired. So you can probably see it in my eyes. Like, I am drained from this week. Also drained from talking about this subject today, but I was like, this needs to be talked about. Most of the backlash that I've been seeing is that Sukiana, she's very sexually expressive. Her lyrics are very suggestive. Even in her interviews, she can come off as very sexually aggressive, even though I look at it as like that's her. I don't know if that's really her personality. From what I'm seeing about her, from her friends, from other people, that she has a very, very nice personality. Even like on her other interviews that aren't with her being in her character, I see that she is very, very soft on the inside. It seems like she really wants to have like a traditional, in a way, a traditional type of household. She talks about a lot about she wants to serve her man, cook for her man, and all this other stuff. Great, whatever. But also the persona that she presents to us is very sexual, high energy. It definitely gives, and if you're very familiar with spirituality, it gives Kundalini energy like a motherfucker. Like Kundalini, she is rawr. She's in your face. She's very sexual. She's very powerful. She gets what the fuck she wants. So if you aren't very tapped into what Kundalini energy is or what it represents, definitely look into that, because that Suki really embodies that, and I feel like I embody that too. Not as hot and out there as Suki, but I definitely speak a lot, and I'm very out about my sexuality. I talk a lot about it. I try to educate about it. And then in the past, I used to tweet, and I still do a little bit here and there. I tweet about the things that I like sexually, that I want my nigga to do to me, that I want to do to my nigga, to my girl, like whoever, like, you feel me? I'm very, very sexually explicit in that way. I definitely am sexually liberated. I don't mind talking about it because I feel like if men can talk about it, why can't I? Like, it's a part of me. Sex is literally a part of all of us. We all have it. Why is it something that cannot be talked about? Why is it that women cannot talk about it and then we get chastised for it when we do? Or we're not deserving of protection. We're not deserving of our own agency of our bodies. We're not deserving of, getting our rights, met or whatever when it comes to things like this, sexual assault. Like, just because I talk about sex does not mean that warrants any and everybody to just assume that they can have a sexual encounter with me and to assume that it is okay for them to sexually assault me in any kind of way. I don't care if I am flirting with you. I don't care if you feel me, like you've heard me say, like, I don't know, like I've sucked a nigga's dick in the park or whatever. I don't care whatever I say or what I choose, that's the key word, choose to do with whoever. That never gives anybody a right to violate me without my consent. You feel me? Like, we as women, I feel like, are always told that it is not okay to be sexual, and if you do, this is the consequence. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of with Suki. Like, a lot of people are making excuses, saying like, well, she talks about this, you see the way she acts and this and that, so she deserves, basically, like, you get what you get, you get what you pay for. And that's really giving much the energy of, you wear a skirt, then the man has the right to rape you or whatever. Like, the things that, you feel me, like moms and grannies used to say back in the day, or you wear red lipstick. It's like women can't do shit that is feminine or that is, powerful to ourselves without it being some backlash and saying that we deserve something in return. Like, if I'm not hurting anybody and all I'm doing is just living my life, living in my truth, I'm being told that I deserve to be assaulted. I don't understand the logic behind that. Assault is very, 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 very dangerous. Like, it can lead to death, or it can lead to anything. I'm not saying that situation with Suki could have led to that, but it could have. You never know. It could have escalated. She could have turned him down, cussed him out, and he could have been like, bitch, and then slapped her, and then it would have been a whole thing. Would she have been in the wrong then? Would she have not deserved protection then too? Or that's what I would like to know from people. Like, I'm not understanding why is it so shocking that, because she did put out a tweet saying that she was basically scared to speak up and stand for herself, which is a lot of women. And I really don't understand how we are still not understanding this. It is 2023, and we've had movements, Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement, and things of that nature, where women have held things in the dark from other people because they are scared to come out about it. They're scared to approach their abusers. They're scared to tell other people because of fear that they will not be believed, or that they would just be told to just keep quiet about it. So they just go ahead and keep quiet about it because it could ruin their career. It can ruin them. I remember, and this is getting off subject a little bit, but we're gonna take it there. I remember when I can't even think of her name. Let me look up real quick. And look, it don't even come up on Google when you're just typing. Like, I gotta type the whole thing out. Of course. Sorry, y'all. Dee Barnes. That's her name. Dee Barnes. So she was I don't even remember what her show was. This was way back in the day, like in the 90s, early 90s. What is the name of that show? I came unprepared, but I randomly thought of this as I was talking about it. Fuck. Come on now. What is the show that she hosted? It was a show that is kind of like Video Soul back in the day and shit. Was it Video Soul? I don't remember. But it was back in the day. It was a show for up and coming. That this woman, Dee Barnes, she was an interviewer, a journalist who would interview people who were up and coming, artists, and, just hang out at their cribs and like just have a real conversation with them, or hang out at the studio with them and just talk. And she was very, very laxed. She was very, she's still with us, by the way, but back then she was very lax, fully clothed or whatever, like how y'all try to say like people who are not fully clothed don't deserve to be respected, but whatever. But she was just very, very chill. And I remember she did an interview around the time when NWA broke up and it was all that drama going on. And I remember this was more so when Ice Cube had left the group, and she had interviewed him, and he said all this talking shit about the whole NWA crew. And it's not like she told this man to say these hurtful things. She just asked about the status of their relationship or something and stuff. And Ice Cube just started going off about how them niggas ain't shit and was talking all shit. I remember the interview slightly. But then one night at the club, I guess that she runs into Dr. Dre, who was still part of NWA at the time. And Dr. Dre physically assaulted her, like hit her, blacked her eye, like really, like, it wasn't sexual assault. It was just pure physical assault on this woman because of her interview with him. He was drunk. And did he drag her? I'm trying to remember the details. It was horrific. A horrific story. And it changed my whole view on him because I had never heard of him being a rapist or a physical abuser, anything of that nature. That was my first time hearing of that until I saw the Michelet documentary about her encounters with him when they were married or whatever. So she brought this up when Straight Outta Compton had came out. I think that she was starting to talk about it or whatever. And I remember that she said that she She went all the way to try to press charges, and the charges were dropped because this man was starting to get so much power and money where he could just pay that shit off. And then she lost her fucking job because people didn't want to deal with that. They didn't want to deal with what she had going on. People didn't want to interview with her because they were like associated still with Dr. Dre. So they didn't really want to. It was like a whole like, you should have kept your mouth shut. Like, now I can't fuck with you because of this man. He got all the power for her. So her whole, actually, I think that she won the court battle. I gotta read the story again, but I do know the specifics as far as like her being assaulted and losing her career. The thing that she loved the most, she wanted to be a journalist so bad, and nobody would hire her because she was still associated with this whole fiasco that went on. And I'm like, so people are really like on the side of this man who was getting nothing but richer and richer and richer, getting all these contracts and getting all these people that he can work with, and she lost everything as far as that. That is so fucked up. And that is right there is why women do not speak up, especially women in entertainment or in jobs. Like, you can be in the corporate world. You can't even talk about somebody at your job sexually harassing you or making, comments to you because you're afraid that the higher ups will not do anything about it. And they'll fire you before they fire this man who is not shit, who is literally going to do it to the next woman the next day, the same day, whatever. Like, it's just, wow. We really don't be protecting women. And it's a worldwide thing. It's not even like just a black woman thing. It's really any woman, because I've heard of it even with like other races and things like that being in the corporate world. But specifically, we're going to talk about black women because we already know that we are the least protected, the last ones to ever get some type of justice. And then even from our own men, because like, if you think about it, back in our families and shit like that, when sexual assault would go on, what do people tell you? What do Big Mama and them tell you to do? Just don't tell anybody, baby. We're not even going to talk about it. We're not even going to bring it up. We're not going to talk about how this man is really a rapist in the family. And y'all keep bringing him around and making me watch this person be around. I have to be fucking 8 years old and see this same person in my life, in our family, just chilling up on our couch after he sexually assaulted me in some kind of way. And you're telling me to be quiet about it, or they don't even believe you. Like, he would never do that. No. That's like your uncle. He would never. And that is exactly what they do. And they know that they're protected. They know that they're protected by these people in the family, these hierarchies. Like, it's fucking sick. And so they can get away with it. And it's just so telling. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this, because that's what I'm seeing a lot of. It's a lot of people saying that. And all she even said all she said was that I'm scared to speak out. And I'm seeing everyone being like, oh, now she's dragging it. Oh, now now she's trying to ruin his career. She don't give a fuck about his career. She got her own career going on. It's nothing even about that. Somebody said something about her wanting money. She got her own money. What the fuck she need with his money? He's like a 24-year-old young nigga. Like, I don't even know what he does. Is he a rapper? I really don't even know this man. I didn't take the time to look him up. I don't care. And I only know Suki within the last couple of years. And we'll get onto her in a few. But my whole thing is more so about the situation and about how two wrongs never make a right. And for people to justify her, experience with this man who you could tell by her body language that she was uncomfortable. She even told him no. Somebody say no once. That's it. No is a complete sentence. I don't care if they're saying it in a flirty way, like, no, stop. I would stop. Because you never know. You never know. And that's what I encourage a lot of people around me, like a lot of men around me, even if they're messing with somebody. I'd be like, if she say no, you need to just stop. Don't keep going. I don't care if she wasn't serious about the no. And if she gets mad at you for stopping said act, then that ain't the bitch for you. Because she need to make up her fucking mind. But it depends on what kind of energy are you giving. Are you giving off this forceful energy to where she feels like she's obligated to say yes and curb her no. Like, you need to also check yourself. But as soon as she says no, game is over. Leave. Stop. Abort. But I just see so many people not even understanding exactly what sexual assault even is. Like, I see people saying that all he tried to do was kiss her, all he did was kiss her. That's all you have to do. I don't care if he touched her hair. Get out of her fucking face. Don't come up to me in my bubble. And if I say no and you're still doing it anyway, like, what would you tell your daughter to do? Oh, some of y'all would probably tell her to hush. By the logic of most of y'all. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy to me. And I even talked to somebody today about that. Like, how, like, I saw him bring up, you know, like, he was being creepy and all, but she doing the most. Especially with her doing the things that she does and stuff, And I had to comment because that kind of pissed me off. That did piss me off because I'm like, I'm a sexual being. I talk about sex all the time. I may not have a rap career. I may not be famous and known for it or whatever. But within my city, if you know me, you've heard of me, you've heard of my podcast, you know what I'm talking about. I also post photos of myself, you know, that are either half naked. I've posted a nude of myself, of a man literally, consensually holding my breast from behind. And I'm just like, that's so fucked up that if something like that were to happen to me, how many people would probably be like, well, she deserved that because that's what she is. I have consensual sex. I don't have rapey sex. That's not what I consent to. So, I don't see how I would deserve anything. I don't feel like that's the type of karma that is just something that is deserved. You should never feel like it's okay to violate someone's boundaries in that way. Or violate anyone's boundaries of any way. But I just want us to... I'm glad that this happened. I mean, I'm not glad, you know, that it happened. But I'm glad that we're having this discussion because, for one, it's showing me who all the creepy people are and what kind of mindsets are really out here still in 2023 about women and their rights, about what sexual assault means to certain people and how people think that they can get away with certain things. And it's so sad. And it's so scary. And I hate that we have to keep telling women to get a gun. Because a lot of women ain't built for a gun. Shit, I don't even think that I'm really built for the gun that I got. But I am not going to be afraid to use it because it's always going to be you or me. And it's not going to be me. So, I just want to just say how I hate that we have to do that for our own protection. Like, why do I have to go and get a gun? Because these people, even if I didn't have my podcast, even if I, you feel me, was not sexually liberated, even if I wore turtlenecks year-round long, people don't give a fuck about that if they are wanting to rape you. Someone with a sick, twisted mind. I think rapists have a mental illness, and it's so sad. Because they get off on dominating someone. And baby, if you get off on being a dom, you need to learn how to consensually do BDSM work. Because that is an actual thing. And you can literally preference that in your dating preferences. Like, you can literally state that when it comes to people. And what types of dom things you want to do to people. But it always has to be consensual. So I think that people who rape or sexually assault, physically assault, whatever, because they really get off on having control over someone. And especially if they are doing it without consent, that means that they get off on taking that right away from other people. And that is something that needs to be taken care of. Like, I don't even know if jail is necessarily the thing for that, because I really don't believe in jail. I really feel like they just lock black men up and that's it. There's no rehabilitation in it whatsoever. There's no, like, afterlife of jail. Like, they just come back and just do the same shit. A lot of people. Like, what are you learning while you're in there? You're not learning shit. You're not learning how to undo the things that you did there, undo your thinking or nothing like that. You're just, like, told you were a bad boy, so go to timeout, and then that's it. There's no coaching behind it. There's no certificate that you get at the end to let you know that you've completed these, requirements to be able to leave or anything like that. Because you've now understood what consent is. Like, that should be what you get when you go to jail. But I really, don't get me wrong. You do something crazy, you definitely need to go. But there needs to be some type of reframing of what it is. Like, we can't just, like, sit here and not have this conversation. So I am glad that we are talking about sexual assault. Sexual Assault Awareness Month was actually in April. And that is crazy that 2 months later we're seeing this. I mean, and this happens every day. But that this is, like, public right now. And that so many people are just not understanding what it really is, and they're just really just like, but you can't put a but. She was sexually assaulted, end of story. And then my whole thing with bringing up the 8-year-old that she twerked on, she got lit the fuck up then. I remember that. I remember people were dogging her, and she should have went to jail. Yeah. Teach her a fucking lesson. Really not go to jail. Because, again, I really don't believe in jail. Because what is that teaching you? But I really do feel like she should have... That's some mental illness that you would want to do that to a fucking kid. I would never. I don't understand what would make you think that that was okay. And the people around the whole situation. The mama was there and consented to it, apparently. And a lot of other people... That baby needs therapy. All of them need therapy, but the child definitely does. But my thing with bringing that up, I see a lot of men doing that, is they didn't bring that up when it happened, but they want us to, which many of us did. Because I think I remember making a post like, what the fuck? And this was when I didn't even know who she was or anything like that. I had just seen that, and I'm like, that is fucking disgusting, and I can't believe that somebody would fucking do that. Like, in their right mind. Can't be. But my thing is, like, why are we using that to justify why she should be, assaulted now? No one deserves to be assaulted. People in jail don't deserve to be assaulted. But how you gonna bring up something that you didn't even care about then when it actually happened as a justification to her getting sexually assaulted? You didn't care about that little boy. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to trying to get justice for a woman who is experiencing this, and you want to protect some nigga that most people don't even know. I'm not even going to say most people. I just don't know. But I know a lot of people don't even know who he is too. And they're, like, defending it just to have this aha moment. And it's just so weird. Why can't we say that both things are wrong? I'm not even saying that YK Osirini, whatever his name is, I'm not saying that he needs to, like, go to jail or anything like that, or just some bad shit. I feel like this should be a teaching opportunity, a learning opportunity for him. And he should be held accountable for it, just like how everybody was holding her accountable for that action. So why can't we have both people being held accountable for something that is absolutely wrong? I don't know. I'm just, ranting at this point, but I really do feel like we're not taking sexual assault serious enough in all cases. Not just with this case, but I don't know. It's just wild that people really think that it is okay to violate somebody else's boundaries just because of what they talk about. That just really does not sound right. And knowing that people, even if they're not sexual beings, they get raped every day too. So it's just so weird that we are saying that this is okay in any kind of way. But I digress. I just want to say that I hope that everybody is, taking care of their mental health. If you are a sexual assault victim, I hope that you are taking care of your mental health during this time. If this is triggering for you, this episode, and also this whole fiasco on the internet, I'm hoping that you take some time away from the internet, which I feel like I need to do because it's draining to see the comments. That's the biggest thing. Then I saw Meek Mill posting something about, like, don't do this to this young man. He's young. He's a good kid. They're telling Suki that, you feel me, don't do this because, like, we need to keep it, what is it? Keep it G or some hood politics ass shit. Like, basically telling her not to snitch. You snitching for her by putting this publicly, by saying, like, he's wrong, but don't you tell in public. Like, what these, oh Lord, niggas. Oh Lord, the logic don't be logicking. I made that up. But see, I'm getting sleepy. But I just really, I'm not even going to edit this video. So if there's pauses in it, it's just going to have to be what it is. Same with the audio. You hear me talking to Coco in the background, all that shit. I'm just going to literally, like, end this and then post it because I'm very, very tired and I really don't care. And I really just wanted to get this out. I really wanted to talk about this. There's no preface of me talking to tell you what the episode is about because we got it right on into it. So I just want y'all to, like, again, stay safe, take care of yourself, and I will be returning to post more often. Like I said, I had a mini break. It wasn't even really intentional. It was just like I really did not know what I wanted to really talk about that was of some value, but I really have a lot of shit now that I have to get off my chest, and I have some guests that are on their way. Not right now, but I have some guests I'm about to actually record with here very, very soon. And we're going to have some more content for you. I haven't been on Patreon in a little minute. So if you are a subscriber, was once a subscriber, want to rejoin, wondering where the fuck is she at? I'm coming back. I have some exclusive content that I do want to post on there. I'm going to start doing when I have my guests. We're going to actually start doing double episodes. So there will be an episode that you will get for free on YouTube and all the other platforms. But then there's also going to be an episode that you have to be a Patreon subscriber for. And yeah, so I am very, very excited for that. And you already know where to follow me. Sacred Genie, The Sacred Genie on all platforms. Definitely listen wherever you listen to your podcast. Listen on YouTube. Watch on YouTube. And subscribe to Patreon. What else am I missing? Like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back. I love you guys. Bye.